Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
I'm getting tired of the streets. I'm getting tired of the beatings. The city's giving to me.
Hop Nation USA, welcome back. I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July celebration. We are here. We are independent. We are drinking beer. I am Adam. With me, of course, is Steve.
Hello, everybody out there in the world, and welcome back to Adam.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. My ailment is gone.
You done boffing and fighting so you can come back on the show?
Well, at least I'm back on a regular schedule with that.
Okay.
So I can schedule that around the podcast, so we're good.
Right on.
We're operating again.
No more surprises.
That is, we hope.
All right.
We hope.
I have so many questions right now.
I will tell you in the break.
Glad to see you in one piece.
Me too. Me too. But regardless, yeah, I'm back. Kelsey's back.
I'm back.
Hell yeah.
Kelsey was not sick, though.
I was not sick.
She just comes in intermittent.
Well, she's
Yeah.
just a different kind of sick. She's more sick.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tubular.
Tubular.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Thanks, 90s kids.
Yeah, back. Happy to be here. Excited to record tonight.
It's hella awesome.
Cowabunga.
Etc.
Dude.
Etc. So on and so forth.
It's going to be a very 90s catchphrase show, isn't it?
Who knows? I mean, most of them are. Like, I don't.
That's kind of how I live my life.
Yeah.
So,
In the 90s. I'm glad we're into the 90s now.
Yes.
For a while, we were stuck in the 70s and 80s, Adam, but I'm glad that we've at least made it to the 90s.
it feels good.
Does it feel good?
It does feel good.
You made it.
You made
Yay.
it. Congratulations.
You made it. You did it.
Sugar Ray can get back together in a couple of years.
Hootie and the Blowfish is playing at the iHeartRadio Music Festival
Are you
in
serious?
September. I heard that today, and I was like, wait, what?
That's not surprising. None of this is surprising.
No.
I heard Local H is still playing shows.
I'd go watch a local age show.
I'm sure you would.
They got that one song.
I know that exactly. They all have that one song. And you can just make money off 90 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we're talking music, and you may have heard at the beginning of the show, we had another new song that's not our usual intro. We have a more upbeat punk song, and it's not from the 90s, it's from the now. I'm all about the now.
I'm
Live
into
in
the
the
now.
I live in the now. But the song you heard was Rotten Fruit by Summer of Blood. They're, a bit of a desert punk rock kind of outfit.
Okay.
They got that Stooges influence, and, personally I hear a bit of the Dwarves, and to take it back to the 90s, they do have a little Butthole Surfers in there.
All right.
Yeah,
Alright.
so.
Okay, I'll take a little pepper with that.
No, doesn't sound like Pepper at all.
I know, but that's the only song that I know by them.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's the only one you know because it's the only one they play on the X.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can find Summer of Blood on the Spotify and the YouTubes, or you can just go on their website at www.summerofblood.red.
.red.
Red.
They spent that extra cash to get
Hell
that
yeah.
get that bespoke.
I mean, if your
URL.
name is Summer of Blood, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. And then, you can also find them on Instagram at Summer of Blood Band. All
Okay.
one word.
Okay.
That's it. But yeah, you'll hear more of those in the interstitials between our segments, and then at the very end of the episode, you'll be able to hear the entire song. So stay tuned to check it out.
Great.
Yeah. It's like MCU, post.
Right. It's the post credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the little teases of the song,
Mhm.
and then you get the full song at the end.
That's where Samuel L. Jackson shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And tells you something big is going to happen.
That's right.
Right. But yeah, if you are out there and you have your own band and you have your own song that you want us to, play on the airwaves, get you a little bit of that, what do you call it, exposure for free?
Them exposure bucks.
Yeah, we do exposure bucks for free on this show. As long as your song don't suck.
That is the criteria that we
Yeah.
have.
But, hit us up on Twitter at HopNationUSA or email us at hopnationusa@gmail.com, and we'll see about getting you on the show as well.
It's time to talk beer again. And it's time to talk summertime treats.
Hell yeah, treats.
Summertime treats.
Yes.
Oh.
Summertime treats, but we're not doing Fatty Boy pastry stouts.
No, we're going to save that for after the show.
We had to find another way to get a whole bunch of sugar in our system.
So, Kelsey, what is the first beer we are going to try today?
So our first beer is coming to us from Captain Lawrence Brewing Company, and that is out of Elmsford, New York. It is called Soft Swerve Orange Cream.
Very nice.
And
very
I
nice.
believe this beer is coming to us this evening from Sam,
Yes.
frequent collaborator of the show.
Frequent collaborator, sometimes guest host, sometimes, just all around good dude who donated this to the cause.
So all around good friend.
Agreed.
So thanks, Sam, for the beer tonight. So the Soft Swerve is a milkshake IPA, and it's brewed with orange, vanilla, and milk sugar. It's 7.5%, and
IBUs be damned.
Yeah.
IBUs be
Yeah.
damned.
When
very much.
it's calling out that it wants to be ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It don't matter.
I don't think it's going to be super hoppy.
No, there's not going to be 8 pounds of Magnum
Yeah.
in this can.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let's crack that bad boy open.
Oh, yeah. It smells orangey.
Orange.
Orange.
Doesn't look completely like orange juice.
No.
Not completely, but it's definitely hazy.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like mimosa juice. Like,
There you go. Yeah.
it looks like mimosa juice.
It looks like a mimosa. Yeah.
On the nose, it is actually it got a little bit of that hop to it.
Yeah. It's like an orange hop.
Yeah, a little bit of a citrus hop there, and smells pretty good.
Kinda
I like
surprised
it.
at that, I'll be
I like
honest.
it. On the just going back to the look for a second, it has like a bit of a frothy head.
It did have a frosty
It did.
head.
It went away pretty quickly though.
It went away pretty quickly, but there's like a almost like a slurry.
Yeah.
Like you can see
It's like a film almost.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, almost a film. I'm gonna say it's more of like the milk sugar
Yeah.
just resting at the top is what it looks like.
Just trying to
Exactly.
escape the hops.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it looks
it looks like it's been dusted with confectioner sugar at the top.
Yeah, it does.
If you stare at it long enough, it could give you some abstract art.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah.
like the abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you see in the clouds of this milk sugar? All right.
That's a good game.
Yeah, right?
I see a Triforce.
I see
All
a
right.
whale.
Okay.
I'm going to try it, though. now.
Steve sees us wasting time before we drink this beer.
Absolutely, because I just started drinking it. I couldn't care less what I saw. Adam's making a face.
Adam's making a face.
I am making a face.
It's very orangey. It's very citrusy, but I'm not getting a lot of that cream.
No.
The-
I'm not getting cream flavor, but
But
it is thick like
It is
cream.
thick
It's thick like
with
cream.
a couple C's.
Yeah, that's like maybe 3 C's thick. Thick.
I can't get behind this beer.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not jamming on it right now.
Okay.
All right.
For me, I kind of like it. It's I don't know. It doesn't really blow me out of the water in any way, but at the same time, it's not overly sweet. It's just thick. It doesn't have like a really bad resinous aftertaste at all. So you can tell it's not overly hopped or anything like that. It's just kind of run of the mill though, and the orange, like there's a good orange flavor, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of that milk sugar, that sweetness, that maybe a smidge of vanilla, but not like vanilla creaminess that I
It doesn't
was
have
expecting.
that creamsicle
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah, that's what I wanted in this beer. But maybe it'll get there. Who knows? There's still time for you, Soft Swerve. A whole segment's worth.
You're so encouraging.
Thank you.
You can do it, Soft Swerve. We believe in you.
Try your best.
Hey,
That's all you can do.
maybe as it warms up, it's gonna get
That's true. Maybe it's
a
shy.
little something. Yeah, maybe it's just
Maybe
a little
it's
shy. Yeah, maybe it just
I-
needs a little encouragement.
I don't think it should be encouraged to warm up though, because
I
it's supposed
know.
to be a milkshake.
I know.
Orange ice cream.
I know.
Goofy time, silly boy.
You know what? This would be really good over though. Vanilla ice cream.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you can make a float out of this
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Then you'll get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I get what I want.
Alrighty. So yeah, let's continue to think about, rate, enjoy this beer. But until then, I believe news,
Yes.
notes,
Yes.
And neat.
and
Yes.
neat.
Yes. Yes.
It is time.
It is time.
Steve, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'll go first because I'll just be bitchy.
All right.
Okay.
I read a story, and it's it was for the first time that I took a stance kind of almost against craft beer in a way.
Okay.
But I'll explain the story real quickly. It was actually in the New York Times, and there is a brewery in Manchester, England called Seven Brothers. And Seven Brothers partnered with Kellogg cereal.
Oh no.
And they partnered with the UK branch. And what they did is they have been taking portions of unused cereal that didn't meet quality assurance and
Okay.
quality control. So you just like weird shaped cornflakes, shit like that.
Yeah.
Weird shaped, a little bit extra burnt. You know, they just don't meet the QA. So Kellogg's throws out a lot of fucking cereal because they have been sending 5,000 tons to farms in the area to feed the animals.
Okay, which makes sense.
And that's fine.
How many tons?
5,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of reject cereal.
Yeah, it's a lot of reject cereal. Seven Brothers has partnered with them, though, and they're taking a portion of that 5,000 tons now, and they are making IPAs out of it. They started doing that in 2018, and now 2019 they've added Rice Krispies
Okay.
and Cocoa Puffs to
Okay.
that as well. So they're doing a Rice Krispie Pale and a Cocoa Puff Stout.
I was hoping you were going to say stout after that Cocoa Puff, not like
Yeah.
a Cocoa
Right.
Puff IPA or an ale.
Yeah, that'd be pretty gross.
That'd be real gross.
Yeah. But I don't know. I couldn't get behind it
Why not?
because just the way they were framing it and especially because of the way the article was written.
Okay.
Nowhere in the article does it mention what Kellogg's does for like giving cereal to people in need. It's all about this upcycling to make it in the beer. And craft beer is, historically for, not poor people.
Right.
Right.
They have Kate Price, and she's the social responsibility manager for Kellogg's brand in UK.
I had no idea that was a position that was available within companies.
Well, it is now. It is in 2019.
Okay then.
Yeah.
You have to be socially responsible, and like she was promoting how like it's really important for them to make sure food doesn't go to waste and it goes back into the community. But at no point did she mention like giving food to people who are really in need.
I wonder how it doesn't make their quality standards. Is it just like too big, too small, or is it
it's still edible. It's all still edible because obviously it can be used
In beer, right.
in the food stuff of beer. It's all still edible food. It just looks silly.
Yeah, this is a bunch of pony loaf.
Right, and that's the thing is like this New York Times article just went all through like this JO session about how this cereal is not going to waste and it's getting upcycled.
Yeah, it's getting upcycled into the byproduct of a beer that then either is still going to a farm potentially
Right.
or just getting tossed.
Yeah, because it's still mash, and like it's still another thing that's pointed out in the New York Times article is about how a third of all food that is consumable is wasted.
That number is way too high.
Yeah, all. It's way too high. It all just goes to landfills and it produces emissions as it breaks down. But I mean that's still what happens after you make a mash.
Right.
Right.
It's still like you either have to feed it to an animal.
Or you have to like somehow make something out of it yourself, like bread or a cake.
Right, yeah.
Or
You still have to find ways to make it consumable,
Yeah.
or else it goes back to the landfill and makes emissions. It was pretty funny because there was they took a quote from somebody. Her name's Emily Broad-Lieb, and she's the food law and policy clinic head at Harvard.
Okay.
That's whatever. It's a position of some sort at Harvard. I assume she just kind of looks over things and says, that's not good and this is good. But her quote was, if food is still safe, it should go to people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I almost guarantee this isn't what she meant.
No.
No.
She meant food should go to people in need,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not dickheads with scarves around their necks and twill hats
And shoulder packs,
and shoulder packs. Yeah.
aka a fanny pack for your
I'm
shoulder.
trying to hone in on.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Shoulder packs?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm going to take a fanny pack break here for a second. The fanny pack is back.
I knew that.
Okay. But now, especially men are wearing them as like little shoulder bags or like crossbody
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I
waist
have.
packs. So it's like almost like a crossbody pack / a shoulder pack.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Fashion
That's
devoted.
fine.
Yeah.
Adam learned something today.
Yeah.
Acknowledge. I'm not
But
going to
like
use
these
it.
are the type of people who I see in like, I want the Rice Krispie pale ale, please.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is that's what made me just take a whole stance against this article on a whole is because it's a lot of back padding. But I don't know. It just didn't read right to me.
Okay.
I will give Kellogg's credit though, even though it was omitted from the article. I did my own research on my own just to
Yeah.
say, Kellogg's isn't completely ass. Like in 2016, they did provide 1 billion servings of cereal in donation
Okay. All right.
to
All right.
to just different causes all over.
Okay.
Whether it's a community that was like in need from a disaster or just people in general who need help. Kellogg's does donate a lot of food,
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
but this article ain't it. This article is just like we took cow food and then turned it into beer and then turned it back into cow food. We
Right.
did,
Exactly. All they did was they add a step.
yeah, we added a step.
A step to make a consumable for another consumable.
Yeah.
Yeah, another consumable and to make cans of beer that are more expensive than boxes of cereal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Neat.
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
Stop writing articles like that.
Well, it's the New York Times, so it's fake news anyways, and
Oh, okay.
et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks, Mr. President.
And we're avoiding that conversation by going to another piece of news.
Okay.
Our good friends at Voodoo,
Yeah,
they are expanding
that's the best news.
again.
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 I
Always
felt like
bigger.
last time I was on here, we talked about a new Voodoo location.
Well, apparently you are the Voodoo Queen because here we go again. And this time they are going west. West, all the way to Cleveland.
Wow.
Yes, they are going to Cleveland Heights. They anticipate opening this summer. It will be a pub, so there will be food there as well. You get all your Voodoo needs. That's all. Just a quick hitter. They're opening again.
Another.
Another.
And another one.
Yeah.
So maybe the next time I'm on, we'll have the same note.
They'll be in Indianapolis by that point in time.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, maybe West Virginia. Who knows?
Maybe West Virginia.
Maybe Columbus.
Columbus would make sense, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you move into Ohio, you get Cleveland, and then Columbus, and then Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's how they go.
Yeah.
Then Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Then we
go
go to
north, though,
Chicago.
to like Toledo?
Nah, fuck Toledo in the butt.
Wow.
Wow.
If they go to Toledo, it'll just be one of those shipping container pop-ups that they do.
Okay, then.
Take that, Toledo.
Yeah.
Toledo?
I don't care.
I don't know what that is.
That's how little I care about pronouncing their name correctly. Just Toledo. I don't know.
All
Take
right.
that.
All right. Home of the Rockets.
Right.
That's their collegiate team.
Great.
Yeah.
So
You got
another quick hitter. This isn't really news, just a quick update. But Dogfish Head and Sam Adams are officially together. The SEC approved, so they are officially one and the same now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the U.S. government, Uncle Sam says, yeah, you guys are the same now.
So they signed all the papers and
Signed all the paperwork.
Sam Calzone kissed Jim Cook in the mouth and
Right,
they all had a good
right.
time.
He has the title of brewer and founder, Dogfish Head.
Gotcha.
That's his official title.
Gotcha.
There you go. So, Kelsey, do you have a news note or neat?
Yes, Adam, I do have a news
You have a nose?
Neat.
news, notes, and neat. Tongue twister. All right, so tonight I want to talk about antitrust.
Oh, okay.
Right, I know. We're going.
Terrible.
So we're going on. Bear with me. All right. So the title of this article is Antitrust Scrutiny for Beer. Put that bad idea on ice.
Was this from the Washington Examiner?
This is from the Washington Examiner, yes.
Oh, okay. That's a conservative rag, if I remember correctly.
So they are talking about the modern American beer market and how it's overflowing with innovative beer.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, they're talking about the beer sector has quickly become one of the most competitive industries in America. So it may come as a surprise that some politicians think today's beer market is not competitive enough, and they might be in need of antitrust scrutiny to prevent potential beer monopolies from forming. This article that I was reading was saying that some of the Democratic presidential candidates have voiced their desire to make antitrust cool again. And in fact, a Democratic senator from Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar, has explicitly pushed for more antitrust scrutiny of the beer industry in the past, warning of so-called beer behemoths if large companies such as Anheuser-Busch InBev and SAB Miller joined forces.
Gotcha.
So recently, congressional Democrats listed the beer sector among 5 examples of industries that the government may need to crack down on for monopolistic tendencies. They cited the fact that several large brewing companies have made high-profile acquisitions of smaller craft breweries in recent years, which lawmakers argue could block craft brewers' access to the marketplace. The problem with this theory, though, as I was reading it and the article states, is that there's no evidence to back any of this
No numbers,
up.
no cited
Yeah.
examples, nothing.
Nothing. So, like, any effort to create a beer monopoly, even if a company were to try to do so, would be pretty much impossible because of how ultra competitive the beer market is. So, you know, breweries come in every shape and size. And even like a decade ago, when beer shelves were all pretty much macro, the modern consumer has an infinite selection from which to choose.
Yeah.
Which is truth.
So the big thing about this that is AB InBev basically already had its monopoly.
Yeah.
Like, and by monopoly, we're not talking just it sold the most beer and it, you know, still sells the most beer.
Right.
But it owns farms, which
Right.
hops are produced on.
Right.
It owns, was it Northern Brewer?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
The homebrew outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they control, like, they have a lot of control over production. Like, that's as close as you can get to, like, fucking old school Standard Oil.
Yeah.
With Rockefeller controlling the railroads. So that's as close as you can get is control. Like, the only thing AB InBev doesn't do is control the planes that fly the hops over here.
Right.
Right.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that we have so many breweries that have popped up recently is and still continue to open. We have, I don't know how many damn more opening that I haven't been to yet.
Yeah. Probably like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
At in our
least,
city.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's silly to even talk antitrust for beer right now.
Yeah. And I think with the frequency that breweries are opening and how many are opening is speaking to the beer culture of today.
Yes.
Because so many people are starting to become obsessed with new releases and how tap lines and tap lists are constantly varying and constantly rotating. And it's like all these new beer offerings. It's, you know, people aren't necessarily brand loyal anymore. I mean, some people are brand loyal, but it's like style loyal now.
Right.
Or, you know, you
Yeah.
know, so it's like true market dominance isn't actually happening.
So in that regard, what I suggest is we bring antitrust suits against IPAs.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
I think we can.
I don't think you
IPA
can.
is not a company, so
Yeah.
I don't care. Then we need to break this up.
if you want to bring antitrust up against somebody, you have to bring it up against like Mad Mex, and
Yes.
you'd have to prove that their tap lines are dominated by IPAs.
And they are.
So maybe you could, you know, bring something up against them
Yeah.
to break up their tap lines a little bit more.
Or I could probably just go talk to them.
You can just talk nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Stop calling the damn cops all the time. Try talking to somebody first.
Yeah. So, I mean, this article, it goes on more to like that brand loyalty, the community, like, you know, with the breweries popping up in communities, people are more likely to go to their local brewery,
Right.
you know, the brewery in their neighborhood.
Plus, it's been so long since any of those businesses have really made an acquisition, I think.
Yeah.
I can't,
At least a splash acquisition.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of the acquisitions that have been made actually have not worked out, Ballast Point.
Right.
Right.
So the article does say that it is important to take a step back and consider whether there's actually anything inherently wrong with larger breweries buying up smaller operations. So while many smaller breweries remain proudly independent and are able to thrive, many other craft brewers have found value in partnering with larger companies. So they go on to cite the founders of Devil's Backbone Brewing in Virginia, which was purchased by AB InBev in 2016. They noted that the additional capital they received from that sale has allowed them to build a new headquarters and spend more time on R&D. I mean,
R&D.
take that for what you will.
R&D is $200 worth of equipment.
It's a bucket.
It's a bucket.
Don't shoot the
I'm not yelling at you,
layer
Kelsey.
of this news article.
But R&D is $200 of equipment that I have in my basement right now.
Yeah. Anybody can brew a pilot batch. Shags.
Yeah. So this just ends like decisions over how to structure businesses like a brewery are best left to the free market. The beer industry is as competitive as it has ever been, and consumers are enjoying a never-ending selection of brews from a broad array of brewers. And unless politicians can find better evidence for their concerns, any talk of antitrust scrutiny for beer should be put on ice. That is a direct ending paragraph of this article. End quote. See Jarrett Dieterle.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So I just thought that was like interesting because it's like
It is.
when you hear antitrust, I think of like, oh, like maybe
Verizon.
the tech
Yeah.
industry
Comcast.
Right.
needs to
Disney.
like
Microsoft,
Disney.
Yeah.
IBM,
Disney.
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 Disney can take all of. I have said this to Jeff so many times this year. Disney can just take all of my money this year.
Well, they're going to.
They're going to.
They're
That's-
going to, and that's the thing. Whether I'm, watching ESPN or watching a Marvel movie or watching a live action remake or, watching this. It's like Disney owns everything right now. So yes, tech and Disney. Those are my two.
And eventually it'll just be Tech Disney.
Tech Disney. Comcast is another one. Verizon's another one.
Yeah.
But I think that falls under the tech umbrella. So
Yeah, it's disgusting the amount of things that are just owned vertically that you don't know about. You can basically look to like maybe 6 or 7 companies and go, my life is really controlled.
Yeah.
yeah.
Farts.
So when I saw the headline on that, I was like, wait, what? And then just kind of reading through it, it's like, oh, well, they think this is never, like, not never going to happen, but like it doesn't make any sense for it. Because, the breweries are impacting their communities the way they need to be impacting them.
Did anybody ask what Andrew Yang had to say about it?
No.
Talking to Amy Klobuchar, she didn't know shit, obviously. Go back to Minnesota, Klobuchar.
Maybe it's just a Minnesota thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, just like this beer that we had from Captain Lawrence.
You transitioned that so well, Steve, just like I was going to.
I did find this beer interesting, though.
I found this beer interesting as well.
I didn't like it.
All right.
Why don't you tell us why you didn't like
Yeah.
it? Because you didn't really...
Is it because it's an IPA?
No, surprisingly, no.
Okay.
To me, it didn't have the creaminess that one would expect to have a, orange cream milkshake IPA. It didn't have the oranginess for an orange cream milkshake IPA. It didn't do much of anything for me. It didn't work. For me, it just didn't work. We talked about how it was thick. To me, I thought it was just overly thick. I didn't like it.
All right, yeah, all right. If it didn't hit you today, it didn't hit you today.
No. And that's the other thing was, yes, I understand it's supposed to be a thick, creamy beer, but if this is supposed to be a summertime treat, I didn't find
Too
it
thick?
to be too treaty. Yeah.
Not refreshing enough for you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I can get behind that statement of it's just not treaty enough.
Right.
Because boy, oh boy, it was fucking hot today.
Yeah.
And that was too thick
Yeah.
for hot today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was close to syrup. but it wasn't like overly sweet. Like it didn't approach the decadent.
That's a good word to use on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
literally brewery.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
I mean, literally the brewery though. Yeah. It didn't approach the decadent beers, which they have way more flavor to them.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't have that much flavor. It was not that it was understated or not that it was bad in any way. It didn't pop. So like, yeah, the main thing you take away from this beer is it's thick. and you could really get like similar flavors out of just like an orange shandy or something else. Because it doesn't really differentiate itself in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what were your thoughts on the beer we had here?
It was definitely interesting. I was hoping for more of that milky milkshake type flavor on the end, but it delivered on the citrus notes, which I did appreciate, but it was very thick to drink. I'm not sure if this would be quench my thirst in this heat type of beer that I, with something this orange with an orange slice on it and with a Milkshake IPA label, I would expect to do.
Yeah. But if you throw it over some ice cream,
But yeah, if
you make a float with it.
and then yes, sign me up. Do you have any ice cream?
I do not.
Ice cream.
Sorry. Sorry, everybody.
Get that thick ice cream.
Best I can get you is gelato.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll see we'll figure it out.
Okay.
On the break, we'll maybe
Yeah.
do some recipe testing.
Because I just remembered I have gelato in the
some
freezer.
R&D, if
Neat.
you will.
Yeah. R&D. Who they think they are.
R&D at Devil's Backbone. Oh, we made the Vienna lager a little bit more Vienna-y. Suck my dick.
All right, I'm done before I start popping off.
All right, coming back. Segment 2 later. More summertime treats.
The city's getting too good for me. The city's getting too good for me.
First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Welcome back, Hop Nation.
Ooh, she took it.
She stole it. Stole it right from an Indian nose.
Well, you got it, so run with it.
Episode 115.
Yep.
We're talking summertime fun.
Treats.
Summertime treats.
Summertime treats.
Summertime treats and beer.
Yes.
I believe you just heard a snippet from...
Some damn buddy.
Okay. The band is Summer of Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just heard a snippet from Summer of Blood.
Yeah, that was the song. It was underneath the First Sip Brew Box ad. I will say, if you're listening to this episode on a Friday, as you should, you only have a couple days to get your order in for the latest First Sip Brew Box.
Which is pretty awesome.
It is, because it's all Fresh Fest.
Fresh Fest.
Yeah. It's all
That's what, August 10th?
August 10th, yes.
All right.
You can get your Fresh Fest swag
Swag.
from First Sip Brew Box.
Hell yeah.
Fresh Fest swag by First Sip Brew Box.
That's a tough one.
Wow, that's a tough one.
I didn't even have that written down.
So let's loosen things up a little bit here. Let's get into our second beer.
Let's do it.
This beer comes from the good people of Oddside Brewing.
Yes.
Okay.
Out of beautiful Grand Haven, Michigan.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. It's from here on the mitten. You can't see me pointing at my hand.
Good
like
visual joke.
All
Good.
Yeah.
Michiganders
Good
do. But we are going to enjoy the Prickly Pear Cactus Pineapple Fruitsicle.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say that again. It is the Prickly Pear Cactus Pineapple Fruitsicle.
There's
There's
too
a
much alliteration
lot
in this
going on
segment.
there.
Yeah.
Fresh Fest First Sip.
Pickly pear, pineapple.
Red
Too much.
leather, yellow leather, red
Too
leather,
much.
yellow leather. So this clocks in at 4.5% ABV. It is a fruit beer. IBUs, no one knows, no one cares. It's going to be delicious.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So last year, when we did a popsicle episode, we featured one of these. I believe it was like strawberry.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So now it's back again because it's still a summertime treat. Popsicles are summertime treat.
I love popsicles.
Yeah.
You know what it's time to do?
Drink the beer, open
Drink
the beer.
Treat yourself.
Treat ourselves.
I want some of that prickly pear pineapple popsicle.
It's a bit much.
Broke it.
Wow.
You done dicked it up.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Is this the first beer you've ever opened, Adam?
It is.
Wow, look at that color.
It's a cheap Chinese aluminum.
Thanks, Donnie.
It's so pretty.
Way to go.
Listeners, if I can paint you a visual, it is a beautiful, like, rosé pink color.
You know what it looks like?
It's gorgeous.
I'll give you what it looks like.
What's it look like, Steve?
I'm not going to give it in any flowery terms or any shit like that. It looks like Crush.
Mm-hmm.
And Crush is making a watermelon flavor for the summer. It looks like watermelon Crush.
It looks like watermelon juice. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But yeah, very pink. Mm-hmm. Also hazy as a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
As a bastard.
As a bastard.
Okay. Looks good. I like it.
good.
Smells good.
Well,
I smell the cactus.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what cactus smells like.
Smells like pricking.
That's a whole other show, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I'm not on.
You ever been on a porn set? It smells like pricking.
Oh, gosh.
Moving along.
Let's try this.
That is pretty delightful.
Now, this is much more in the realm of refreshing than I was expecting from this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I still have no idea what prickly pear cactus tastes like.
Well, it's what you taste up front because the back end is pineapple. So.
Yeah. So it's almost like a light watermelon.
Yeah. Yeah. It does have that watermelon-y kind of flavor up front.
To me, it gives off the vibe of the Hell or High Watermelon by 21st Amendment.
A little bit. It's a little more sour, a little more tart than that.
Right, but it's got that refreshing vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to put them in the cooler side by side.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. For sure.
Some would even say Foshizi.
Some would. Some would indeed.
Yes. So whilst we enjoy this, Kelsey, what the hell are you doing?
I'm looking at the prickly pear cactus.
Oh, okay.
I'm just Googling random stuff on your phone now, so you're going to be on the list. You're welcome.
Oh, great.
No, I'm looking at a prickly pear cactus.
What's it look like?
I mean, it looks like a cactus, and it has this delicious pink-looking fruit on the end.
Oh, okay.
So that helps explain the color.
Yeah.
We don't live in the desert. We can identify coniferous
and deciduous are the two types of trees.
Yeah, them trees. We can identify the difference between those two. Some got cones, some don't.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
They got cones.
Some got cones and needles. The ones that don't.
That's right. They lose their leaves. Those are the deciduous kind.
Yeah, that's true.
Looks kind of like a dragon fruit.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a dragon fruit.
All right, maybe that's just what dragon fruit is. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to keep enjoying this refreshing brew from Odd Side.
I will say it is refreshing though. Mm-hmm. It's it's not overly sweet. No. It is a little more tart.
Yeah.
It's what I would expect if you made a paleta.
I don't know what a paleta is.
A paleta is a popsicle that's basically made with real fruit and real fruit juice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just fancy hipster popsicle.
I was gonna say I knew what it was. I just didn't know what the name of it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I'm almost 99% sure I've said the same damn thing last year,
and I probably said the same thing.
Right. You don't remember.
I don't know what a paleta is.
Yeah, the paleta.
So now I have had my yearly paleta reminder. Set your calendars for next July when it happens again.
Right.
Sunrise, sunset.
one year, Adam will eventually learn what a paleta is.
Yes. There will be a quiz later on, Adam.
A paleta quiz?
A paleta. There will be a quiz on the paleta.
Yuck.
I hate myself for saying it. It hurts my mouth a little bit.
You get used to it.
So how about a little history lesson?
Yes. I love history.
Agreed.
I did some internet deep dives.
Oh.
And I wanted to do a little more research into the history of how did all these summertime treats get to be summertime treats? How did we get to the fact that, beer can be popsicles and popsicles can be beer? And vice versa, and all the which way arounds.
Yeah. All this Willy Wonka shit going on.
Yes.
Yeah. How did we get here, Steve?
How did we get to the point of all this Willy Wonka shit? So I'm going to start on the side of beer becoming popsicles and ice cream.
Okay.
I'll start with that.
Great.
We're going to go all the way back to the year 2007.
In the year 2007.
Time.
7.
The year I graduated something.
College.
Yeah.
Because same year I did. College. But 2007 is when we kind of got our first beer popsicle, also known as a hopsicle. That's what it was dubbed. The hopsicle came to rise in Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It was at a restaurant called Rustico, and the chef Frank Morales invented them. And he started just by using low ABV, highly fruited beers.
Okay.
Yeah, because the low ABV made it easier for them to freeze.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And he mixed it in with real fruit, because if there's if you're using a lambic that's got strawberries in it,
You're going to use... Yeah.
Yeah, you mix it with real strawberries. And that was the first time in 2007 when, ice cream was sold commercially at a restaurant that was made with beer.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
You can jump back just a little bit before that to 2005. And another chef who serves at the restaurant Luke's, that's like in L.A.,
Okay.
but she wrote a cookbook called Sunday Suppers at Luke's, and she had a recipe for Guinness ice cream. Ooh. So that's kind of the first time, at least I found in recorded history. 2005 is when somebody made ice cream using beer, and it was with Guinness, because that's kind of an easy down the middle. It's already chocolatey. It's already there. Just got to make it better.
It's an easy transition.
It's an easy transition.
That sounds delicious too.
Yeah. 2006, Ben & Jerry's had a black and tan flavor.
Okay.
It's been discontinued since, but they got into it as well. So these are the early doings. That's ice cream. Popsicles came about again. They got a little more notoriety in 2010 at a place in New York called the Diablo Royale Este Saloon.
Diablo Royale
Este.
Saloon.
The Devil King something saloon.
Sure.
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah. What they were doing there were they were taking cans of Tecate
Okay.
Heard of it?
and injecting it with simple sugar syrup
Okay.
and lime juice to
Alright.
cut the ABV and then add a little more flavor to it.
Yeah.
And then they were shoving sticks into the cans. And then they were sticking the cans in the freezer.
Oh.
Okay.
And you're basically getting big adult push pops.
Oh.
I love it.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it.
This is something that may have been lost to time because I believe that place is closed now.
Oh, so there's an opening in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm reintroducing this to the world, especially now that we have a bunch of cans for every fucking thing.
Yes.
I was actually looking, just a bit of an aside on that one. All three of the beers that we have here tonight are in cans. And it's interesting throughout the history of the show, the transition that we've had from bottles to cans.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, that transition has
Massive.
definitely come
Yep.
Yeah.
within the period of the show.
Yeah.
So now I'm reintroducing this recipe because you can absolutely do it with this odd side.
Yes. You
This
just
would be
do it.
delicious as a push pop.
Yeah. You just make it you just make it a push pop now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you have to add anything to it because
Oh,
For this
probably
one, not
not.
really.
I think it's only 4 or 5%. So you
Yeah.
could
Do it right now.
Yeah, you could probably freeze it easy. You just gotta shove the stick in it.
This beer would also be really good as like a granita or like that frozen Italian. So like,
Bellini?
you can make it into like a Bellini.
I don't know.
No, a granita. So like you freeze it, and then like after an hour you take a fork and you run it through there, and then freeze it again, and it becomes like this really soft, almost like ice mixture. But
Okay.
it's like fruit flavored or juiced flavored.
I know what
So-
you're talking about, but the
Water
only-
ice?
all I can think of is bolognese, but I know that's not it.
That's not it
No.
at all. I think you're just talking about trying to make water ice.
Water ice.
Sure, like your homemade water ice.
Yeah, that's how you make it. You just run your fork through it and you get water ice.
Who invited this guy?
I don't know if they still do a show.
We should check into that.
Yeah, maybe they should check in with us.
Yeah.
I'll let their mom.
Why don't you call anymore?
Yeah. You tell us. You tell us if you're still alive and doing a show. So I have a little bit more.
Yes.
Things, they tend to... These are all, like, top surface world stuff.
Top surface world?
You'll understand as I go.
Okay, all right.
Ben & Jerry's, that's obviously very well known. This is all surface world shit.
So is this something I just got to strap in and just go for the ride?
Well, yeah, just listen. Just listen.
Okay.
Stop interrupting. If you want to get a little more deeper into the history, all you have to do is go on homebrew forums.
Oh.
That's where you start finding the experimental shit. That's the underground. That's not the surface world. That's the cellar dwellers.
Start getting to the OG shit.
Yeah. I found people asking about using popsicles as priming sugar. Yeah. Apparently, because most popsicles contain 7 grams of sugar in them, you can melt them down, and in general, it takes 14 popsicles to prime and carb a 5-gallon batch.
That's actually not bad at all.
It's not too terrible. You'll get a little bit of it watered down. Yeah, it'll water down a little bit, but you'll also maybe get some of the flavor, maybe get some of the.
So you could probably just boil some of that off.
You could if you wanted to. Yeah, I was also finding, different recipes for how to. You can find all kinds of beer ice cream recipes on the internet. Like they're all over the place. And I found, like a lot of people were suggesting using like DME on their ice cream. Yeah, and LME. So if you're a home brewer, you know what that is. But we're talking dry malt extract and liquid malt extract.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of like syrup, and you're putting a little bit of syrup on top.
It's very caramelly.
Yeah, I saw some homebrewers exalting the praises of that. But yeah, you dive into the deep, and you'll find some weirdness. The other thing I was doing though, while I was in the deep underground, in the upside down of the homebrew world, was I was
Stranger Things reference.
Yeah, I was looking for kind of like the origins for some of these summertime treat beers, because anytime you see something on the top market, it's bound to have been done at the homebrew level.
Yeah.
Like Adam and I find that all the time when we go to homebrew events. Like we'll have like cucumber beers.
Yes.
And then now there's a bunch of cucumber beers coming out.
Right. Like the key lime pie beers that we had at the North Hills Homebrew Festival.
Right.
Like,
don't be surprised if you see a bunch of key lime beers. Yeah.
yeah.
They are the leading edge.
Right. Yeah. So the homebrewers are always experimental.
Yeah.
And then top brewers steal their ideas. But yeah, I was kind of looking to see, what were the earliest instances of maybe like an orange creamsicle. That's kind of what I focused on.
Yeah.
We did have an orange creamsicle beer here.
We did.
And I wanted to see if I could find an early instance of that, because it seems like an easy thing to transition. Like we were talking about how Guinness ice cream is easy, Guinness is easy to transition in an ice cream. It seemed like creamsicles were easy to transition.
Yeah.
I found 2 recipes. They both date back to 2011.
Okay.
One was in February of 2011, posted by Octoflab on the Homebrew Talk.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah. And then the other one was March 2011, and it was posted by J.K. Lennick.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of letters slammed together. They surprisingly both were brewing these beers for their girlfriends and were looking for help on the recipe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Octoflab, they basically came down on the same style of using orange zest in the boil and the secondary, and they differed. Octoflab wanted to use whole vanilla bean, and J.K. Lennick, he wanted to use vanilla extract. So and you had differences in hops and stuff, but it was interesting that 2 of the same kind of recipes popped up within a month of each other. But I couldn't really find anything that predated that. The only thing I found that predated that was actually from a bigger brewery, Cigar City.
Oh, okay.
So in 2010, Cigar City released a Creamsicle IPA.
Okay.
They only brewed it once.
And then never again.
Never again. They do have an orange creamsicle out there now, but I don't think it's the same thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that almost took the approach of we're going to try it, work on it, maybe re-release it
Maybe, yeah. It may
as something different.
Right. It may came about in a different format.
Yeah. How much orange zest would you need to use as a non-home brewer asking home brewers? How much orange zest would you need to use in the beginning stages of a beer for you to impart that orange flavor? And second part, would you need to supplement that with any type of extract or juice as well?
Adam, do you want to answer or?
No, because I don't have an answer.
Okay. Well, then I have it. I do have an answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can answer the second part of that.
Yeah.
Is you can add enough to be able to not require an extract.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of purists that would say that would be the way to go.
Okay.
Because you get a more pure flavor. Because there are some extracts out there, and I've never used an orange extract in particular, but there are some extracts out there that do have, you can tell it's an extract being used.
Okay.
So if you can avoid it. And that just means you have to use more, and usually a lot more of whatever your base ingredient would be.
Okay.
And yeah, like Adam was saying, it mostly just comes down to freshness and actual, purity of the, what you're putting in. So according to the recipes that these guys posted, and I kind of agree with them, and you kind of find this in general, is when you're using some sort of flavor additive, like orange zest or lemon zest or lime zest, you usually only use about 2 to 4 ounces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a lot more.
Not that much, but I mean, you got to consider what 4 ounces of lemon zest is.
That's a
That's
lot
of
of
yeah.
That's like a Costco size bag
Right.
of zest right there.
Yeah. I think you can achieve kind of the same thing by just putting 3 whole oranges,
Okay.
because you can get the flavor and you can get some of the juice in there and you get some of the sugars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to use the lemon zest, you're going to have to make a whole lot of lemon squares afterwards.
Yeah.
I think the zest will give you a lot more. It'll give you a lot more aroma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's where all the oils live.
Right. That's what I was going to say next. Is the oils will affect, and we said this on our lime episode that we had 5 episodes ago.
Right.
But the citrus oils, they will affect the head retention on your beer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
be aware of that.
Sorry, just wanted to ask my question.
Yeah, all good.
No, good questions. Yeah. I actually did forget, though. I was saying I didn't find anything pre-2010, and that's actually incorrect.
Oh, okay.
I found something. I found a couple things 2009-ish, but they weren't beer. They were mead.
Yeah.
There were people shooting for orange creamsicle mead, and they were
Okay.
using like orange blossom honey, and then adding vanilla into that.
Makes sense.
So yeah, so that may have been like kind of the starting point. Somebody saw a homebrew mead, and they're like, "But I can do that for beer." Just because I think before that, a lot of times you would just find orange shandies and orange wits, with peppercorn in them. So not a lot of people shot for dessert. But we know that's not the way things are nowadays.
Nope.
Desserts are pretty big.
Desserts are huge.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah. I think from the little bit of research I did, I think we can maybe trace that back to Omnipolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at Omnipolo in 2014, they introduced their ice cream series.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was basically just all lactose and big flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. They started that shit. They started making ice cream. They made vanilla, Rocky Road, pecan.
Hitchhiker last year had their like Neapolitan ice cream beer.
Right.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I didn't have it, but I heard it was just as good as the Saugatuck.
And
Yeah.
that's
Neapolitan.
exactly where I was going to go.
Right, if not better. But I mean, yeah, so
I had that one.
It's delicious.
yeah, Omnipolo was kind of the start of that, though.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, Omnipolo. See you.
they were the kind of the first ones to introduce lactose heavy ales, and then a year later in 2015 is kind of the genesis of the Milkshake IPA.
Okay.
as we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Dealing with.
Wow,
Yeah.
2015 for a milkshake IPA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because again, like Omnipolo was the first one to really start marketing lactose-heavy beers that weren't milk stouts. And then Tired Hands kind of put out the first well-known milkshake IPA, and then they got a bad review on Beer Advocate.
Oh.
And the person who reviewed the beer said that, milkshake IPAs are not a style, and they go against the trend of brewing, and it's not something that should be done.
Swing and a miss on that one.
Well, Tired Hands' answer to that was they brewed 5 more immediately after that.
Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah, and Omnipolo actually did wind up collaborating with them as well, so
All right.
this kind of cements that in there. But yeah, like I mentioned, milk stouts they're obviously the genesis of lactose beers to begin with. And that dates all the way back to 1907. But that's just stouts. That's just, making things
Yeah.
softer and sweeter.
Yeah.
Not as bitter. I believe in my deep dives, though, I found patient zero for the milkshake IPA.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I found patient zero for all of this nonsense. So it's back on the Homebrew Talk forums, and this is posted March 8th, 2009.
Okay.
And the title of the post was "Lactose in an IPA?" ? And this was posted by CPZ28, and I'm just going to read his post. So I missed my gravity on an IPA I brewed, got cocky and sparged too fast. The beer is extremely bitter and dry. I need to balance it out some. Would the addition of lactose into an IPA be absolutely absurd? Beer is in the secondary right now, awaiting dry hopping. If you guys think it'll taste like complete shit, then say so, and instead I'll just blend it with another batch. Thanks, Adam.
That was,
Yeah,
that was not me.
right. I just thought it was very apropos because Adam was the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Adam was.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was only one reply. It was by David42, and he suggested, 2 to 3 ounces of lactose wouldn't hurt, but he really suggested that you just steep more crystal malt to balance it out that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I just thought that seemed to be very the genesis of everything because, Adam seems to be very incredulous about even putting lactose in an IPA to begin with.
It's not something that had occurred to anybody at that point.
Right. Yeah. He was worried about what it tasted like. So the lack of replies means that the knowledge was kind of out there at the time. Because David only suggested 2 to 3 ounces. Nowadays, if you're doing a 5-gallon batch, you're probably putting a pound in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
A ludicrous amount.
Right. You're putting a pound in of lactose. So yeah. But that seemed to be patient zero. Just someone is like, is lactose in an IPA absolutely crazy?
Is this cool? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years later, Adam.
10 years later,
Here we are.
here we are. CPZ28, you started this. This is on you. You're the monkey who bit Dennis Hoffman.
Oh, good Lord.
Or something. I don't know. I haven't watched Outbreak in a long time.
I haven't either.
It's been a while.
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting, going back and looking into the homebrew archives of seeing how a lot of these, essentially they're all trains that come together, and that's how you get decadent ale.
Right.
Of dry hopping double IPAs, throwing a shitload of lactose in, and throwing a bunch of candy in, and all these trains smash together, and you get decadent ales, and you get Omnipolo nonsense, and you get
Tired Hand comes in.
yeah,
Screw you. We're making 5.
yeah.
Nice.
That's kind of the evolution of summertime treats, as they relate to beer. That's how we got beer popsicles and beer ice cream back in 2005, and then homebrew wilding out 2009.
And here in 2019.
Here in 2019, we enjoy the fruits of those labors with the prickly pear, cactus, pineapple, fruitsicle by Oddside Ales.
I really like this beer.
I enjoy it.
I really, really like it. I think this is a fantastic refresher.
It is very refreshing.
Yes, this is a fantastic summer beer, a summer treat beer, in so much that it is not a classic, pale ale or cream ale or something like that. That's going to be your classic beer taste. This is a summertime treat through and through.
Yeah, my only negative is it's just a little tart for me. That's it.
I agree with Steve.
Yeah.
It's just a little tart for me, but it's not overwhelmingly tart, which makes me like it a little more.
Personally, I enjoyed that tartness. I thought that was good. But again, for me, my top summertime beer would be the Ruby Redbird, which is going to have a little bit of that tartness to it from the grapefruit anyway.
Yeah.
So this is in line with what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in line with your palate. You like sours. I don't. But yeah, I could see like drinking one of these and then drinking something else.
Fair.
And then drinking another one of these.
No, I could grab a 4-pack of this.
Yeah, because like it still is very refreshing. It's just, the tartness is like, gotta clean the palate a little bit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I want to make a push pop with it now.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Take the recipe from the Diablo Royale Este Saloon and start making your own push pops with all the cans that we have now. All the cans.
All the cans.
All right.
All right.
But
Good
there you
deal.
go. Yeah.
Cool. What do you say we take a break, reload, segment 3, we'll be back.
Hi, this is Two Girls on a Bench, the podcast. So we're two writers who tend to procrastinate just a bit.
We like to snack. We like to talk.
We don't have time to write, but we have time to do this podcast.
We certainly do. Join us on the bench.
Listen in.
At number 2 Girls on a Bench.
Welcome back, everybody. It is segment 3, the penultimate segment of Hop Nation USA, episode 115. We are talking summertime treats. Steve, it is your turn to bring in a beer.
A beer.
Just a beer. What are we drinking?
Yeah, let's put some quotes around that, but yeah.
Quote unquote beer.
Quote unquote beer. I haven't had it yet, but I don't know. I'm thinking we're on the side of pastry yum time.
Delicious.
That would explain why you are providing this one.
Yes, it is. That's one of two reasons. The other reason is what we're drinking is the Bruery or Xata. And what that is, it's meant to mimic horchata.
Ah.
And I am a big fan of horchata, and it is a big summertime treat for me.
I love horchata.
So this is really just a me segment for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Me time. Me time yummy yums.
You guys can come too.
Yeah. It just happens that Kelsey is collateral in this and that she loves horchata as well.
I do.
I didn't know that. And I didn't care when I bought it or when I decided to bring it on the show. This is just all about me and my yum times.
Steve's just having some personal time in segment 3 here.
Yes.
And I'm just along for the ride because horchata is delicious.
Okay.
Horchata is delicious.
Adam, have you had horchata?
I don't believe that I have.
We need to change that ASAP.
Let's do that
with
right
this
now.
beer.
Well, let's do that right now. As I pour this up, I'll actually kind of clue you in on to what horchata is. Horchata is a traditionally Hispanic drink
Okay.
that is made from rice and milk, and sometimes evaporated milk, and cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
all
the
yummy.
big selling point is cinnamon.
It's the cinnamon in it.
But you get a real sweet and cinnamony treat that's refreshing to beat the heat.
Either before or after your siesta.
So the brewery, though, has produced their own version of this, and it is a blonde ale brewed with rice and lactose and natural cinnamon and vanilla flavors added. And it comes in at 7.2% IBUs, who gives a shit. And, I mean, it's pretty apropos because the brewery is located in Placentia, California.
Ah.
Yes. So they know how it goes. I know how it goes because I've been to California, and horchata is so popular that you can just get it off the spigot at a 7-Eleven.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you can just walk into the 7-Eleven, get a nice big gulp, and then stick it under the machine, and then it comes out. At least the one in Van Nuys that I went to a lot.
Good enough for me.
Wow. I want that in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want an unending horchata tap next to my unending Bailey's tap.
Next to my unending Southern Tier Creme Brulee tap.
Yep.
Next to my unending Jameson and ginger tap. My taps
can
would kill
dream.
me.
But you die with a smile on your face.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine with it. I'm not gonna be mad that I'm dead.
Yeah.
Just
Why did I do this to myself?
yeah, it just accelerates the process a lot. But looking at this beer though,
Yes.
it looks like a blonde ale.
It does a bit hazier.
Yes, it looks hazy
darker.
because there's probably a whole bunch of shit in it.
Right. Right.
It was brewed with rice, as already mentioned, and lactose. So yeah, that's why it looks like it does.
On the nose, smells like horchata, I assume.
It smells sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know that I get enough cinnamon.
Okay.
But that's not really a big feature of horchata because it's usually pretty milk based.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
you smell milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means it's good. I smelled it. It's good.
Okay.
So it's good.
Summertime treats.
Yeah. Wow.
Summertime treats.
I like it.
Okay. That's
Okay.
a plus.
I like it, but I don't know if this is personal taste. I don't know that I would have this in the summertime.
Okay.
I think this would be more of a fall time, early winter kind of drink.
Personally, horchata is an anytime drink.
Fair. Well, for you, it's steady
Yeah.
weather is stout weather, so
That too.
Yes.
I'm not a good barometer. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of get what you're saying though, because it does have a little bit of that thickness.
it's good.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Don't get me wrong on that one.
But it
Yeah.
is a little heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it definitely has the cinnamon, which I think does evoke more of like a fall time cidery spiceness.
Yeah. The cinnamon it's pretty cinnamon forward.
Yeah.
And it's a little not spicy, but it's spiced.
But it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yes.
So overall it's still delicious. I don't think it perfectly captures what horchata is, Adam. So I think you should make
Just
your
go
own.
get horchata.
Yeah.
It has essence of horchata, but not true horchata-ness.
That's a good album name. Essence of Horchata.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a good flamenco album.
Write that one down.
Yeah, I will say because it is a blonde ale though, it doesn't drink as heavy as a real thick stout.
True.
It's true.
So it comes off a little lighter than that, but yeah, this seems much more fall, early spring,
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah.
Not 90 degree today.
Right. This is not a poolside beer by any stretch.
Nah. Sorry, it's not.
No, it's
still
good,
really good.
though.
It's
Yeah.
still really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to continue to drink on this. I know Kelsey's going to continue to drink on this. I don't know about Steve, though. I don't know. He might.
No, I'm done. I've had enough.
Bullshit. Bullshit. So whilst we all drink on our beers, it's time to play a game.
Okay.
Okay.
It is time to bring back an all-time classic. We haven't done this on the show in quite a while.
Right.
It is time for Beer Fight.
Beer fight.
Beer Fight.
Beer fight.
Beer Fight. So for those that have never experienced the joy that is a beer fight, what we're going to do is we're going to take two beers, bring them into the beer dome. That's Thunderdome, but with beer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to fight them out. See which one would win. Now, when you do this is not for the actual physical beer. We are taking the namesakes of these beer, and we figure out which would win in a theoretical fight.
See, Kelsey, I know you watch a lot of superhero movies,
I do.
so I feel like you can relate to the idea of like who would win in a fight, Hulk versus Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing that, but with
Okay.
beer.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, but I figured that's why we will try to bring it back because we never did this with you before.
No.
We've tried it other times to varying successes, and I really think we're just chasing the dragon from the first time we ever did it.
Yeah.
And Adam had a really good pun about the Edmund Fitzgerald. So
I make no guarantees
Adam
on that
would
one.
have a good pun about the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Adam just had a really good joke involving the Edmund Fitzgerald, and we laughed really hard. And then the segment never really worked after that. But we'll try again.
You shot too high.
Yeah,
That's right.
Let's see if we can recapture some of this magic.
So just for example, we're not going to get into a deep discussion on this one, but for example, the first beer that we're going to put into the arena is the Steve and that is by Brewer Wostitz out of Poland versus the Atom. That is from 0 Day in Harrisburg.
Oh, okay.
Which would win in a fight?
Where's the first one from again?
Poland.
Where's the second one from again?
Harrisburg.
Yeah, Poland.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I'm that Polish. If you told me this beer was from Hungary, I'd be like, oh, I need to just keep that on hand
Right.
all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I'd totally whoop your ass, so.
Probably. Probably.
Yeah.
Even in my old fat state at this point.
You've got reach.
Right. I mean, I still got
You
reach.
have a good wingspan.
Yeah. I'll get gassed in 30 seconds.
So I just got to run around.
Well, no, because I'm not going to chase you. I'm not stupid.
All right.
It's just either it's a stalemate and you never come within my reach, or I'll hurt you.
Okay. All right.
Steve wins. Go Poland.
I don't want any of this.
Sorry, Adam.
That's okay. I knew that was coming.
You're the one who asked for the fight.
It's just setting the tone. Just setting
Right,
the tone.
right. It's an easy, yeah.
Yeah. So these are all not necessarily,
As cut and dry.
Yeah,
Right.
some of these are a bit abstract. For example, the first one is the Swipe Right by Barrel Theory Brewing Company out of St. Paul, Minnesota versus Forever Alone by Resident Culture out of Charlotte. Which one would win?
Okay.
Okay.
Abstract, but we're talking lifestyles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Given the choice, I've actually made the choice now. I'm Vol. I think I'm Volcel before that was such a thing.
Sorry, my dude.
Well, no, it's just like I'm too poor and ugly anymore. I don't care. So I'm just going forever alone.
This did not take the turn that I was hoping for.
Well, that's what you're putting though. You're putting for. Do I want to constantly chase like disappointment and meaningless connections with people
For that chance of,
well,
getting that wheat from the chaff.
maybe if you're I feel like if you're using Tinder, you're kind of using Tinder for one reason. You're not. I don't know many people that have come together on Tinder in lasting, loving relationships.
True.
Yeah, like maybe Bumble.
So I do know multiple couples that have met through online dating.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I'm not.
But that's different from
yeah,
Tinder.
Yeah. I'm not bashing all online dating.
Right.
Like what's the one I used to use?
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like OkCupid, you can kind of run the gamut of what you want off of there. Mm-hmm. It's a nice market.
I was going to go with Christian Mingle.
Nope.
Plenty of fish.
They don't let me on that one.
eHarmony.
J-Date?
They don't let me on eHarmony either. I don't have my shit together.
Did you tell them you have a LinkedIn profile?
No. Actually, I think it's because I think at the time I was just looking for nothing permanent, and eHarmony's about that.
They're the lockdown site.
Right. So they kind of ask you, like, are you going for, long-term commitment? I was like, not really. Not at this point. Like, 3 months is a thing, I guess. And they're like, oh, we don't want your kind. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be part of your freak-ass country club anyway.
Well, okay then.
Wow, okay.
So I guess we're going to go with the Forever Alone.
That's just what I'm picking.
Okay, Kelsey?
Feel free to debate me.
I mean,
What are you going with, Adam?
so I'd go with the Swipe Right.
That's where I'm leaning.
That's where I'd go.
I don't know, just even a momentary connection just is so much better than being forever alone.
Yeah, you guys like don't understand what it means to just be I don't need that connection anymore. I can take care of myself. I can cook, I can sew, I can
You're
Self-reliant.
self-sustainable.
Yeah, I'm terminally self-reliant and individualistic, so I don't know. I have no interest in having children. So I don't care.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys are, you both run on hope and you're both in,
Run on hope.
yeah, you do. You both run on hope and you're both in loving relationships, so I understand why you would pick Swipe Right.
I was hoping to keep this light.
Nah, you gotta be honest on podcasts. That's what people like.
Yeah. I'm fine that I run on hope. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, it's worked out for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys both are in loving relationships, and I don't run on hope. I run on like I don't know, horchata.
So if you moved the Van Nuys, where you had it on tap at all times, you'd never die.
Oh yeah, I'd be fine. I would be immortal because I could have avocado and horchata all the time, and I would start talking like this.
That's hella dope.
All the avocado toast in your life.
I'm going down to the beach.
Bruh.
Brah.
Brah.
I was driving down the 5, and then I got on the 105.
I took the 405 and got on the 5 and went up to Van Nuys. Ha, 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 ha.
Moving on, because I can't take this anymore.
You guys don't like California Steve?
No.
Brah. California Steve makes a comeback.
No, I don't want that at all. So, the next one is the Panzerbock. That is by Rodell Brewing out of Peoria, Illinois. Or the Sherman Stout out of James River Brewing of Scottsville, Virginia.
What was the first one?
The Panzerbock.
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 I can tell you the answer.
I can too.
Yeah.
Back-to-back World War champs.
Well, I was just gonna say it's it's 5 Shermans for every 4 Panzers. Dan Carlin laughed at that one.
Oh.
So I think that's unanimous.
Yeah.
The Sherman Stout wins.
Yeah.
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 Sherman Stout wins.
So in that tone, the next one that we have, and this one's an easy one. The first one is the Screamin' Eagle by Bonfire Brewing out of Eagle, Colorado versus the Communist Pig by Hogshead Brewery out of Denver, Colorado.
Oh.
I think Communist Pig wins.
How do you figure?
There's 1.5 billion Chinese.
You're going on sheer numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going Screaming Eagle, I think. Like,
I gotta go Screamin' Eagle as well.
America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You guys aren't Bernie Sanders supporters. Tired of it.
Wait, we're not Bernie Sanders supporters?
I don't feel the burn.
I guess not.
Oh, all right.
You're just going for Screaming Eagles, not Communist Pig.
If Bernie Sanders eliminates all the student loan debt, I'm gonna be pissed.
Because you didn't make the cut and you already paid yours
Because
off.
I already paid mine off.
Yeah.
Where's mine?
Haha, take that, nerd.
Somebody go buy me a Camaro instead.
That'll teach you to get your shit together.
An adult real good.
Yeah. Bullshit.
That'll teach you.
Maybe I should just go get my graduate degree in something.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, go back to school now.
There you
Yeah.
go. Get my MBA.
Yeah, go back to school now, then vote for Bernie in 2020.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who's
Gotta-
coming with me?
I'm coming,
I'm coming with you. Yeah,
All right.
fuck yeah, game the system, yo.
Let's go all get our MBAs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yang gang. I mean, feel the burn.
There you go. Whatever Elizabeth Warren's is.
Whatever any of them are.
Hi, Warren's a second look. That's all I got.
Oh my gosh.
I think you have to narrow the field to like 5 before you can get slogans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 23 people.
There are too many.
I accidentally entered. I didn't know.
When you got enough to field 2 NBA teams, that's too many.
Ooh, can we decide it that way?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. 5-on-5. Indoor court. Shirts for skins.
No.
What about all the people who sit on the bench then?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if we're doing 2 5-on-5, we might as well just do like a little round robin.
Make it half court.
I think you can make 4 teams.
Yeah, you can make 4 teams.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
A little
right.
round robin action.
I like it. It's a democratic way.
Yeah. Basketball.
Basketball. Sports.
That's my
America.
extent of knowledge on that one. Apparently, Kawhi Leonard is no longer in Toronto. Nobody cares.
Kawhi went to the Clippers.
He did.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's the Kawhi Leonard.
I know it is. I know. Sounds like you're trying to start a diesel engine, but it keeps
That's what he sounds like.
Oh, my goodness. This has gone off the rails.
I like this segment. It's working out for me. It's working for me. I like it today.
The next one is The Cougar Slayer
Ooh.
by Jagged Mountain out of
Ooh.
Denver, Colorado
Ooh.
versus Guy on a Buffalo by Pear Brewing out of somewhere in Michigan. I can't read my own writing.
I think this is just me versus you again.
Wait.
I was a Cougar Slayer. Hell yeah. Hell yes.
All right.
Did you slay those cougars?
Hell yes. I used to live in the South Hills. Are you kidding me?
I understand.
You know how many women just walking around the mall with husbands that are not rich and not doing anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
All right then. I think I was more explaining for Adam and the rest of the audience.
No, I picked up on it pretty quick.
Okay. All right.
So, Cougar Slayer versus Guy on a Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going Cougar Slayer from, the aside from the awfulness that I was just putting out. If you can take down a cougar with your hands, that's pretty badass. Anybody can jump on the back of a buffalo. They seem pretty chill.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. I don't know.
Have you ever seen the Guy on a Buffalo series?
Yeah, but he trained it to be badass.
Exactly. He had to take the time. He had to have the patience.
Buffalo.
Yeah, but the thing is, he trained it to be badass. I'm just saying, like, he took a chill buffalo and made it a weapon.
Got straight up mauled by a cougar.
Yeah.
He weaponized a buffalo.
Yeah, he weaponized the buffalo.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Whereas cougars are already weaponized, and you got to fight.
They're already fierce.
Yeah.
So natural fighters versus trained fighters.
But I feel like with buffalo, like in the herd, you could get like a stampede going. You could
Yeah,
get
but that's for anything. That's just for anything big. Cows,
I was going to say, field mice, if there's a stampede of field mice, I don't think you have to worry about it.
I don't know. You'd probably get freaked out.
You get freaked out. I don't think you could probably just
You
stand
freaked
there.
out, you fall over, you hit your head on a rock.
Well, that's on you.
And then you
Well, I'm
get
just saying.
smothered by the tiny field mice.
Yeah.
All right, now we're getting into some nightmare shit that I don't need to deal with.
Should have brought it up.
Ooh. So you're going Cougar Slayer.
Yeah.
What are you going with, Adam?
I think I got to go Guy on a Buffalo.
Break the tie, Kelsey.
As much as I like Guy on a Buffalo, I have to go with Cougar Slayer.
Yes.
Like, if you can tackle a cougar,
Yeah, if you can fight it off with your
if you
bare
can
hands.
fight it off with your bare hands and you can slay and look fabulous while doing it,
Right.
Whoa. We didn't say anything about that.
I'm just throwing it in there for a little spice. Why not?
Fair point.
She
All
heard
right.
slay. She's like, yes.
Yes, one must slay 24/7. Damn it. Is this segment going as you thought it would?
Not at all. 0%.
But it is going good.
It is good.
Wow, yes.
I cannot argue with that.
Yeah, I'm going with Steve. I'm going on Cougar Slayer there.
Okay. All right. So the last one that we have is, and I really wish Sam was here for this one because I think he'd appreciate it.
Okay.
We're going to go with the Falcon Punch
Okay.
by Lucky Hair Brewing out of Hector, New York
Yes.
versus the Peach Blossom
Yes.
by Seventh Son Brewing Company out of Columbus, Ohio.
I'm sorry, you just did not make a good matchup on this one.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
But you understand what it is.
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay,
Super
good.
Smash Brothers, and that's Falcon Punch all day, day.
Kelsey?
I'm going Falcon Punch
All right,
all
we're-
day, every day.
It is unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Falcon Punch.
Yeah. It's like, maybe if you found like a Star Fox or a Link, even a Kirby theme, you could probably work one of those three.
Nah.
But, yeah. No.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, if you play Peach against Captain Falcon, you're getting knocked the hell off.
I do love Peach, though.
She's got like a floaty umbrella or whatever
Yeah, she does.
to float herself right in that punch in the face.
At least she's doing it gracefully, though, like floating down on that umbrella.
So Super Smash is, that's not Peach's game.
No.
Tennis,
Yeah,
you play her on tennis.
Yeah.
I think maybe like, the volleyball game,
that makes
golf,
sense.
you get away with her on that.
I take her a lot in Mario Kart.
That's fine.
choose her.
I think she's middle of the road.
Yeah.
Like Mario.
She can be great
Right.
in certain.
She just has to believe in
Yeah,
herself.
she does.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is Beer Fight, everybody.
Beer Fight.
Decided.
Beer Fight.
All things are final.
I liked Beer Fight. I think you
Beer
should do
Fight's a
this.
good time.
It worked out this time.
It worked out.
I think it was good this time.
Hell yeah.
We'll bring it back another time.
Yes.
We just have to find the right people to do it with.
Hey, Kelsey,
Yeah.
you are on that list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I made the list.
You just made the list.
That's not Jericho's gimmick anymore.
I know. Don't worry, it's still Mark Madden's, I think.
Probably.
I don't know. I got satellite radio, so I don't have to listen to him anymore.
Right.
So it's much better.
Just listen to NPR.
Yeah.
Also better.
Yeah.
I mean, all things considered.
You know what else is better than Mark Madden?
This beer.
The Xata by the Bruery.
Wah, 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 wah.
So where are these guys out of? They're out of California?
California.
Okay.
Yes. If you go up to Vintage Estates, they have a shitload of brewery stuff.
Nice.
Shitload. So Ohio gets brewery.
Man,
PA don't get brewery.
PA needs up their game.
But yeah, the Xata. I enjoy this beer very much so, even though it's probably not the best. You know.
Horchata representation.
Well, it's not the best horchata representation, and it's not the best summertime treat.
No.
No, it is not.
If you're like me and you just hang out in the air conditioning a lot, this is fine.
This is a good constant 72 degrees beer.
Yeah, it's good for that. But again, that's also why I drink stouts all summer too. So it doesn't matter.
Stouts all day.
All day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Should we go to the podium?
We can go to the podium.
Let's go to the podium.
I'm ready for the podium.
Okay.
All right. You want to
If
start
you're
us
ready.
off?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, it's just going to go in the order that we drank them. Bronze, I'm going to give to the Soft Swerve by Captain Lawrence, the Milkshake IPA that's supposed to be an orange creamsicle. It's okay. I don't know. I feel like I've had better representations of this kind of style going for a creamsicle. You know what's a really good beer that has a creamsicle flavor to it, and it's actually refreshing?
What's that?
And I don't know if I don't know if they're around anymore. But Buffalo Bills.
I'm not familiar with that
I'm
one.
not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's a brewery, but I honestly haven't seen them in such a long time. They either just lost their distro in PA, or they might not even be around anymore. But they had an orange, and it tasted exactly like orange creamsicle. The Captain Lawrence kind of falls short on that. It doesn't taste like orange creamsicle. It's not super sweet like a decadent ale would be. It's just thick. And yeah, I don't hate it, but it's also not refreshing.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I'm not going to turn it down anytime it's around, but there's more refreshing beers and there's more desserty beers out there.
Mm-hmm.
This one just kind of falls in the middle of not being either. The silver I'm going to give to the Prickly Pear Cactus Pineapple. Fruitsicle by Oddside. The Fruitsicle series is pretty damn good overall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're all refreshing. They're all full of really good fruit flavor. I know we've said some negative things about their stouts in the past, but their Fruitsicle series is what you should be focusing on because they kill it with these. Personally, this one just had that little bit of tartness for me that I didn't love. So that's why it's going in silver. But otherwise, super refreshing. Really good for a hot day. Anybody who's suffering 90-degree heat should be able to enjoy this. For some reason, I feel like this beer might not reach Arizona, where it would be most welcome because they have cactus and heat. But otherwise, yeah, pretty good beer. I enjoyed it. In the gold, though, is going to the Xata by the Bruery. It's a really good, easy drinking beer. It's nice. It's not sickeningly sweet, for me at least. It might be for somebody else. I don't know. But it has that nice flavors that, I'll drink it anytime. It's not a summertime treat per se because it's not as refreshing as the Oddside. But it has just enough flavor that it makes me want to keep coming back to it over and over. Cinnamon does make you think a little bit of fall spice, but the rest of the beer is light and refreshing enough that it counteracts that. So, yeah, overall, that's what I'm thinking.
Kelsey, what were your thoughts on the wares from this episode?
I think in my bronze this evening, I need to put the Soft Swerve from Captain Lawrence Brewing. I really wanted this to be like a really decadent creamsicle ale. I wanted more of that vanilla. I wanted more of that maltiness. I wanted more of that orange. I wanted it to be more refreshing, and it's just a little heavy. It's actually very heavy. I was a little disappointed in it. So yeah, I liked the orangey taste of it though, but it was just a little too thick and a little too heavy. My silver this evening, I'm torn because I like both of these beers that are left, but I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to put the Xata in my silver this evening. It is a delicious beer. It is a nice blonde. It's cinnamony. I just don't know if it has as many refreshing qualities as the odd side Fruitsicle, which is unfortunate, but I would drink this. I'm with Steve. I would drink this any time of the year. It's delicious. But my goal this evening is going to the odd side prickly pear cactus pineapple Fruitsicle beer. This beer was surprisingly tasty for me. When I saw that it was a fruit beer, like a very fruity beer, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But as soon as I tasted it, it was just crisp. It was refreshing. I didn't mind the tartness. Normally I'm not a huge fan of sours, but I'm learning to like them a little more. So the tartness was great. It was refreshing. I could drink a couple of these. I think it would cool me down in the summer. So yeah, I'm putting the Fruitsicle in the gold.
Right on.
Adam?
So for me, I am going to reflect what you said, Kelsey. The soft Swerve by Captain Lawrence. Well, I expressed my concerns with it in segment 1, so I'm not going to go back into it. But for me, it was a bit heavy for what it was supposed to be, especially if it's supposed to be a summertime treat. It didn't have enough to pull itself outside of the third place, the bronze medal position. So that's where it's going to stay. The Bruery having the Xata, very good beer, well executed beer. But to me, this is something that would be more in the fall, spring, winter time. It's not a summertime refresher. Very good beer. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for it so I can get it again. But if I'm poolside, this is not the one I'm going to be drinking. It is going to be the odd side ales, the prickly pear cactus pineapple Fruitsicle. Great beer, refreshing. I know that the other two weren't huge fans of the tartness of it. That was kind of a drawback for you guys. For me, it wasn't. For me, I thought that was an asset to the beer. I liked it. I thought it was very drinkable. It was something that would be fantastic poolside. So that's why it is in the gold medal position, and I got more of those in my fridge. So hooray for me.
You won.
Yes.
Good for you.
You're
Agreed.
the winner this evening.
Yes.
Well then, if you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher like Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Laughable, Player FM, Spotify.